Voice of the Voiceless.
Good afternoon. This is the world news on Al-IyamoyeTv and radio. I am MODUPE AKINYOSOYE. Here are the top stories. Federal government says it will consider demand for new minimum wage and others. Ogun State government condemns killing of TASWED student, others investigation. In business, nationwide blackout looms as electricity workers join NLC's planned strike. On the foreign scene, China defense minister accused the United States of a Cold War mentality. In sports, Nigeria crash out of Under-20 World Cup. Details of this and more coming up shortly. Welcome back. Now the news in details. Federal government says it will consider the list of demands from the Trade Union Congress TUC, which includes increased minimum wage. Speaking to the State House correspondent after a meeting between the federal government and the TUC, which lasted for about 3 hours, the spokesperson for the federal government, Dele Alake, said that it will also look at the practicality of the demands. Among things the government is considering is tax holidays for workers. Alake also said that President Bola Tinubu will constitute a tripartite committee to include state and organized labor and the private sector to study the dynamics of the minimum wage augmentation to reach an amicable conclusion. Meanwhile, the Trade Union Congress TUC has maintained that the federal government, in the interest of social dialogue, reverts the price of fuel while discussions continue. Speaking to reporters after a meeting with the federal government delegation on Sunday, President of the TUC, Festus Osifo, said the union is hopeful as the government has promised to look into their demands. He added that the union would still brief its members ahead of another round of meetings scheduled for Tuesday. In a related development, a former governor of Edo State, Adams Oshiomhole, says and expressed confidence that issues arising from the removal of fuel subsidy will be quickly resolved between the federal government and the organized labor. The former labor leader expressed the confidence while featuring as a guest on a television program, an interview on Sunday. Oshiomhole said that President Bola Tinubu recognizes the impact the withdrawal of fuel subsidy is having on Nigerians and is determined to take immediate action to cushion it. The Ogun State government has condemned the killing of a 300-level student of Taisholari University of Education, Ijagun. The government, in a statement issued on Sunday and signed by the Permanent Secretary, Minister of Information and Strategy, Mr. Waheed Adesina, assured that all those involved in the act would be brought to book. The government appealed to the student of the institution to remain peaceful and law-abiding while waiting for the outcome of the police investigation. Some residents of the community in Ijagun had allegedly beaten the student to death over alleged link to cultism. The government reaction follows a planned protest by the National Association of Nigerian Students this Monday. The governor of Oyo State, Seyi Makinde, has sought a review of a judgment of the Supreme Court to pay the salaries and allowances of local government chairmen and councillors sacked upon assuming office on May 29, 2019. Governor Makinde, in a fresh motion and notion of appeal before the appeal court, Abuja, urged the court to reverse the order. The governor wanted the appellate court to, among others, reverse the orders of April 27 made by Justice A.O. Ebong of the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory in furtherance of the Supreme Court judgments given on May 7, 2021. The Apex Court had on May 7, 2021, in a judgment declared Governor Makinde's sack of the council officials less than 19 months into their 3-year tenure as unlawful. The court ordered that the salaries and allowances of the sacked council officials were each entitled to be paid for the duration they were supposed to be in office. 22 pregnant girls and 2 babies were rescued on Sunday when soldiers from 14 Brigade Ohafia raided a baby factory located at Omongpeyi Mvosi in Isialangwa local government area of Abia State. The baby factory, operated by one Mrs. Omar, now on the run, was said to have thrived in the area despite reports to security agencies. Troops on arrival at the facility rescued 22 ladies, out of which 21 are pregnant, and 2 babies, a boy and a girl. Some of the items found in the place include a Tiger generator, a stretcher, gas cylinder, and various food items. You're listening to the World News on Al-IyamoyeTv and radio. Still to come, business, foreign and sport news. Please stay with us. Welcome back to the rest of the news. In business and economy news, electricity workers under the aegis of the National Union of Electricity Employees say they will join the Nigeria Labour Congress (NLC) in its planned strike over the removal of petrol subsidy. The union, in a notice signed by the Acting General Secretary Dominic Igwebike, urged its members to comply with the directive and stop work from early hours of Wednesday. Following the union's decision, Nigeria may witness another round of blackouts beginning on Wednesday. Meanwhile, the Nigeria Labour Congress has debunked speculations that it might back down on the proposed industrial action slated nationwide for Wednesday. It said the only reason it would shelve the strike is when the federal government and the Nigeria National Petroleum Corporation Limited did the needful by returning to status quo on the fuel subsidy removal issue. NLC declared the position in a statement by Head of Information and Public Affairs Benson Opa on Sunday. The workers' body was reacting to a story in a national newspaper that some part of the union have backed out of the proposed strike action. On the foreign scene, Russia's defense ministry says it has swamped a major Ukrainian offensive and killed 250 Ukrainian troops. There has been no comment from Kyiv as regards the incident. The ministry said Ukraine had launched the offensive in the Donetsk region on Sunday using 6 mechanized and 2 tank battalions. Video posted showed military vehicles being attacked from the air. China's defense minister says war with the United States would be an unbearable disaster for the world in his first major speech since taking on the role. Speaking at a security summit in Singapore, General Li Shangfu accused the U.S. of a Cold War mentality and said this was greatly increasing security risk. But he said the world was big enough for both China and the U.S. and the two superpowers should seek common ground. In the world of sports, the Flying Eagles of Nigeria have crashed out of this year's FIFA Under-20 World Cup after losing 1-0 to South Korea in the quarterfinals on Sunday. Choi Shin-young's 94th minute header in extra time from a corner was enough for South Korea to progress into the last 4. The Flying Eagles came into the game on the back of a shock 2-0 win against host Argentina in the round of 16. The Flying Eagles' defeat means Africa's 4 representatives, Nigeria, Senegal, Tunisia, and Gambia, have all crashed out of the competition. Still in the world of sport, Karim Benzema is set to leave Real Madrid after 14 years at the club. In a statement on Sunday, the Spanish giant said the Ballon d'Or winner will leave the club as a free agent at the end of the season. In his final match on Sunday, Benzema struck from the penalty spot to earn Real Madrid a 1-1 draw against Athletic Bilbao. The 35-year-old French striker won 5 UEFA Champions Leagues and 4 La Liga titles, with Real Madrid. Finally, in sports, Zlatan Ibrahimovic has retired from football at the age of 41. The football legend announced his retirement after Sunday's last game of the season at the San Siro. Ibrahimovic scored 511 goals for clubs including Paris Saint-Germain, Manchester United, Inter Milan and AC Milan, winning league titles in 4 countries. The striker also retires as Sweden's all-time top scorer with 62 international goals in 122 matches. To end the world news, a quick recap of the major stories. We reported that federal government said it will consider demand for new minimum wage and others. Ogun State government condemned killing of TASWA student, ordered investigation. In business, we also reported that nationwide blackout looms as electricity workers join NLC's plant strike. On the foreign scene, we said China Defense Minister accused United States of a Cold War mentality. And in sports, we reported that Nigeria crashed out of Under-20 World Cup. The World News was edited and produced by Oluwafisayomi Ajibola. For more news and updates, you can follow us on social media. On Facebook, www.facebook.com/Al-IyamoyeTv and radio. On Twitter @Iyamoye_TV. On Instagram @Al-IyamoyeTV. You can also stream live and log in on to our website www.Al-IyamoyeTVandradio.com. Thank you so much for listening. I am MODUPE AKINYOSOYE. Good afternoon.